This is Dr. Dagnan. I'm the Junior Senior Counselor for Signal Mountain Middle High School. Wanted to share some information from our rising juniors and their parents. This is my favorite cartoon, only because it is so incredibly true. The next couple of years are going to move very quickly for you as we prepare your child to graduate and go off on their own. So what are we doing to get your student ready for their junior year? I will be meeting with every sophomore and junior over the next couple of months, one-on-one. We're going to be doing credit checks. I will check their transcript to make sure they have the classes they need to graduate. They will be taking the practice ACT this year. It is March 12th. The state of Tennessee pays for all juniors to take two ACT tests. So when the juniors take the official ACT on March 12th, all 9th graders and 10th graders will be taking practice ACTs. This test is incredibly important for them to do their best on. We will use the data to help place them next year for ACT prep. We'll also be meeting with the diploma program teachers from the IB program so that they can pitch their classes and explain what they do in each of the classes to encourage your students to have more information before they make their decisions for next year. This is how I keep track of your child's credits. In the state of Tennessee, our students need 23 credits to graduate, a minimum. We earn a half credit every semester. We are a traditional school. So for your student to graduate, they'll need 4 English credits. They'll need 4 math credits, including Algebra 1, Geometry, and Algebra 2. If your child took the Algebra 1 in the 8th grade, then they'll actually have 5 math credits, which will look nice on their college when you apply for college. They need 4 science credits, including biology and chemistry. They need 3 social studies credits, including world history, U.S. history, and government and econ. If they choose to do IB History of the Americas, it takes the place of U.S. history and government and econ. They need at least 2 foreign language credits to graduate. Because we are a middle years program school, it's nice that we have 3 foreign language credits. Not everybody's happy about that. However, colleges like to see that your student went the extra mile for that. Wellness is a full credit. It's usually completed in the 9th grade. PE is, we'll need a half credit of PE unless you're in band or you are a full IB diploma candidate. Their CAS takes the place of PE. Personal finance for a half credit. A fine art, it's usually earned in the 9th grade. They'll need to complete a senior project or complete their theory of knowledge for IB. And everyone must have at least 3 credits of a focused elective to graduate. 99% of my students earn their humanities elective by the end of their 10th grade year because of the way we are structured for the middle years program with the with the 9th grade social studies elective and then the 10th grade art and the 3rd year of language. Other areas they can earn their focused elective are in the career technical for like computer science, math, science, technologies, or a focused elective in IB. Many of my students will have at least 2 focused electives by the time they graduate. What do you need to do to get your student ready for junior year? Now's a great time to be talking to your student. Not everybody knows what they want to be when they grow up, and I don't expect them to, but now's a good time to start talking about interests, things that they enjoy doing, things they like doing, things they can see themselves doing down the road. Looking ahead, where would they be 5 years from now, 10 years from now? If you have trips planned over spring break and summer break and fall break, look around and see what colleges are close to where you're going to be and just start walking on some campuses. It's a good idea for students to experience large campuses, small campuses, private, big public universities to help them get an idea of what they're interested in. I strongly encourage them to walk on a campus before they apply because it feels like and it smells like and it tastes like totally different than it looks like on TV and on the internet. Help them research. I know just as a parent, I wanted to do a lot of this for my daughter, but it really needs to be student driven. So help them find the information they're looking for. If they want to be a child life specialist, help them research the degree, help them research what schools offer the degree, but try to let them do the actual work. I also encourage you to start documenting your community service, start documenting any kinds of awards, things that your child has earned, because when they start applying for scholarships and college entrance, a lot of times they'll ask, where have you done community service, or there might be a scholarship that's community service specific. If you have all your information in one place, that will make your life so much easier down the road. Also encourage you to come to meetings. We won't have very many, but we do have parent universities. We have IB meetings with Miss Thomas. There'll be a few times that you'll have an opportunity to come in, and you're always welcome to contact me and come in and sit down and meet one-on-one if you have questions specific to your child. So let's talk about dual enrollment classes for a few minutes. One of the options your student has as a junior is to take dual enrollment classes. Dual enrollment classes are joint or dual credit between college and high school. We currently work with Chattanooga State, and we offer for juniors U.S. history, dual enrollment U.S. history, and then we have some math courses, and we have dual enrollment psychology. Your student will have to have an ACT score to take dual enrollment credits or to take dual enrollment classes. They'll need at least an 18 in English, a 19 in reading to take any of the humanity classes, and they'll need a 19 in reading and a 22 in math to take any of the math classes. So at this time of year, you can look on ACT. They have test dates in April, June, and July that you can sign up for. You would just go to www.act.org and create an account, pick a date, and sign up for it. The difference between dual enrollment classes and regular high school classes, in addition to the college credit, is that there is paperwork. It is a little complicated in that you have to apply to Chat State as a student. You apply for a dual enrollment grant, and then you also apply to take a class. So there's several steps that are involved. It's very easy for students to get sidetracked or to miss a step somewhere. There's also a step for mom or dad to have to approve it. So just be aware that there is a significant amount of paperwork and that there will be fees. We'll talk about that in just a minute. Chat State will also communicate with your student or your child as if they are an adult. So unfortunately, that means you may or may not get any emails saying, hey, you have some fees due by such and such a date. And if your child is not good at checking email, they may not notice it until after they've been dropped from the class, and then we're trying to scramble to figure out how to get them back in again. We plan to have a contract to be signed by the parent and student to take any dual enrollment classes, just so that we are sure you're aware of what's going on in this process. So talking about the dual enrollment grant, the first two classes are basically free. So you get up to $500 to cover a class. So if your child was going to take U.S. history, remember what I said about us only having one, a half credit every semester. They would have to take 2 U.S. history classes, one for the fall semester and one for the spring semester. So if those were the only classes they're taking, both of those classes would basically be free, and you'd earn 6 credits, 6 college credits for free. But if you are planning on doing U.S. history and math, the first 2 classes for free would be used in the fall semester. So spring semester, when you take the second piece of U.S. history and the second math class, looking at the dual enrollment grant on the screen, you would have $200 to apply towards one, but you would have no money to apply to the next one. So just know that you will have fees and some money due after you've gotten to the 3rd and 4th dual enrollment class. Now, having said that, once you've gotten through that, there is hope money that you can pull for the 5th through 8th classes. So if you wanted to take classes your junior year and senior year, you could pull up to $300 per class, which is really basically about half price of a college class. They cost anywhere between $498 and $650. If you have no plans for your child to attend a state school, then please take the money and run. This is free money from Tennessee to pay for college credits, and I would recommend you take a look at that and see if that might work for your child. So this is the checklist. There are multiple steps in the checklist for early college. Like I said, you have to apply to Chat State. I encourage them, they have to have an email address and a password, so they have to keep track of usernames and passwords for Chat State. They'll need to apply for the dual enrollment grant, keep track of that username and password. We'll talk about the classes they're taking, then they'll have to create a dynamic form, username and password, and then remember all of this for their senior year if they choose to take dual enrollment again their senior year. Always know in the back of your head just to check the bursar's office at Chat State, because even if you had the $500 free towards a class, if it was a $600 class, then you may still have a little bit of fees left there at the bursar's office, and they will drop students from the rosters if they have a balance after certain dates. And just the last thing, best laid plans of mice and men. I can't see what's going on at Chat State, and that's frustrating for me, and I know it's frustrating for you as well, as you are trying to navigate this, because I can't tell you what the usernames are. I can't check on if they've paid their fees yet. I can't check and see if they've actually been registered or if they're missing a driver's license. It is very much a college process, but we have the classes on our campus. So I would be happy to help as much as I can, but truthfully, I have a love-hate relationship with Chat State only because I can't help navigate like I can with other classes. So let's talk about international baccalaureate programs. If you want to take an IB class, you have to complete your 10th grade personal project. I think there are no exceptions unless you come in from out of state just prior to your junior year. That's a requirement that's made. It is a 2-year requirement, so if you are choosing to do History of the Americas, just know that it is your junior year and your senior year. Or if you're planning on taking all IB classes, you'll take the IB English 11th grade and IB English 12th grade 2 years straight through. Exams are required. They are at the end of your senior year. There is a fee involved there. You will need to meet with Miss Thomas. She'll have dates on the school calendar. If you are not wanting to take all IB classes, you can take up to 3 IB classes. I am committed to helping you find the right fit for your student. I love the IB program. I think it's a perfect fit for any number of students. I love the dual enrollment rigor that we can offer. I love the mix. I love that some kids don't need to take either. I just want to make sure that your child is in the right fit for where they are academically and where they want to be when they apply for college. Those are conversations that I intend to have with your child. Be glad to have them with you one-on-one if you'd like. But I think one of the issues in our building with stress and anxiety is students who are not placed in the right classes, either because they want to be in classes with their friends, or they have it in their head that they have to do certain things to get to certain places, or even, parents wanting them to be in a specific set of classes, and it may not be the right place for them. So like I said, that's just one of the things that I'm committed to, is trying to help you find the right fit for your student. And Signal Mountain may not be the right fit for your student. We have several options available to us. If you're feeling now that you're just really anxious about the setting or the classes, There are a couple of opportunities we have through Hamilton County programs. We have Polytech, which is through Chat State, and you stay on the roster and you get to take classes at Chat State that are technologically directed or inclined. We have Collegiate High, which is on the Chat State campus as well, which is all dual enrollment classes, and that's a place where you would earn if you are there your junior and senior year, in addition to earning your high school diploma, you would earn an associate's degree. So there's a Gestamp program where you can work at Gestamp and earn your high school degree at the same time. So I say all this to say, let's find the right place for your student. Let's find what fits best for them, and I will support and help you figure that out if you need. So taking a look at the class requests for junior year, keep it in mind, the credits that we have to graduate. Your child needs to choose an English. We have English 11, Honors English 11, and then the IB English classes. Social studies, most juniors take U.S. history. If I'm the one that'll be checking to make sure they've had world history. So you'll see a lot of classes on here that your child has already taken. Bear in mind that this is our form for everybody, and sometimes students come in from other schools and they're not on the same program we're on. So if your child has already taken some of these classes, don't worry about it. I am aware of that, and we want to make sure they keep moving forward to meet their graduation requirements. So science, required every year, is English, social studies, science, and math. If they are done with their languages, they do not have to have any more than the 2 hours that are required by the state, but they can choose more if they like. On the elective side, we have 4 PE classes. PE and weight training are exactly what you think they are and what they sound like. Team sports is a class where students are taught how to play team sports. And then lifetime fitness is an interesting class because it's really based on teaching students how to develop and maintain healthy physical routines for, into adulthood. So it's going to be things like yoga and hiking. It's kind of girl-centric. So a lot of girls in there, and then the really, really smart guys that want to be with the girls. And then it's also the class for my students who just really don't want to take a PE class because it's really one that is a pretty neat class to be in. Other classes that we have accounting and computer science foundations and website design if they're interested in the computers. We have Bible history and creative writing, the dual enrollment psychology I mentioned earlier. Sociology is a class that a lot of students like to take, and they can either take it for a half credit or a whole credit, so either a half a year or a whole year. We also have a really neat program called Ignite Service Learning. These are students who have very generous and loving hearts. They will work as a normally developed peer mentor to students who may have developmental delays physically or mentally. They may go to class with them, or they may take them to lunch, but they just serve as a peer mentor to some of the students in our building, and they do earn a credit for that. You can see all of the fine arts that we have, art and theater. We have choir, band, and strings. If your student is planning on pursuing a full IB diploma, so all IB classes in the 11th, 12th grade, they only have to complete the IB box on the back page. So I should be sending these out this week or in the next few days. We hope to get them back in a couple weeks, and I'll be meeting with students in the very, very near future. So spring semester of their junior year, I will sit with them again and do another credit check. It's incredibly important to make sure we have everything on their transcript done correctly. Sometimes our teachers may put a 93B in as a grade, or once they've added extra points for honors or AP. So we just want to make sure that the transcript is correct, because the spring junior transcript is what you will be applying to, or your child will be applying to colleges with. So just to make sure it's correct. Remember I mentioned that your student would be taking a practice exam this year, so spring semester of their junior year they will take the actual state ACT. You do not sign up for it, you do not have to pay for that, the state pays for that. Please remember to continue to document your community service. Try and set up some college visits. Every student has 3 excused absences to visit colleges. We just need some proof that they went on an official visit. I tell students that you cannot take a picture of yourself outside of the UT Stadium and tell me that you went on a college visit. I actually need an email or a note or something that tells me that you took a trip or went to talk to department heads to check out their campus. If your child plays a sport and plans on playing a sport in college, junior year is the year that you need to register with the NCAA or the NAIA with the clearinghouse, just to make sure that we have all of their pieces of the puzzle before they are ready to graduate. And junior year, in the spring of your junior year, there may be an opportunity if your child wants to graduate early. That would be something that we would need to talk about at that time and make sure they had everything they needed to be ready to do that. So we do have a college access advisor, Sandy Mitchum. She works on our campus 5 days a week. Much thanks to the Mountain Education Foundation for helping fund that. She's here to answer questions. As your child gets into their junior year, you should start seeing some emails from Miss Mitchum, the college lady. At one point in time, those emails will become more and more frequent as your child becomes a senior, and that's where information about college reps and scholarships and things like that will be coming through. And of course, here's my information. Please feel free to contact me. I'll be glad to help. I look forward to getting to know you and your student. As there are more things that come up, I am planning to do a better job of updating our guidance webpage. So there'll be more information. We have a college fair coming up this spring that the sophomores will be invited to, and give them a chance to talk to college reps a little ahead of time. But just keep an eyeball on the website for dates and more information as the year progresses. Thank you for your time, and I look forward to serving your student.